The phone rings at 11 p.m. in Joe Frazier's Philadelphia home. 1979. A voice Joe hasn't heard in months whispers words that stop his heart. "Joe, Ali needs help, but he can't know it's from you." What happens in the next 15 minutes stays secret for 25 years, until Ali's wife finally tells the truth at Joe's funeral in 2011. This is the story that shocked the boxing world about what rivalry really means. Chicago, Illinois, January 1979, a cold winter night. Snow falling, the city wrapped in a white blanket. Wind howling down Michigan Avenue, bending trees, making people rush home. Through frosted windows, streetlights cast lonely shadows on empty sidewalks. But in Muhammad Ali's 47th floor luxury apartment, the air is much colder, because this cold isn't coming from outside, it's coming from within, from desperation, from fear, from uncertainty. Ali sits in his living room. Once, this salon was filled with visitors, reporters, celebrities, politicians. Everyone wanted to see Ali, to take pictures with him. Now it's silent, empty. Only papers surround him. Bills, legal documents, bank letters, each one telling the same story. No money, no hope. Time running out. 3 years. 3 long years away from boxing had cost him everything. His stand against the Vietnam War, his principled position, his conscientious objection. "I ain't got no quarrel with them Viet Cong," he had said. Those words made him the most famous man in the world, but also broke him financially. His license was taken, his passport canceled, his income sources cut off. He was banished from the ring during his strongest years. Ali holds a letter in his hand. His hands are shaking, not from age, from fear. Final notice from his landlord. If he doesn't pay $8,500 rent this month, eviction follows. 43 years old, 3-time world heavyweight champion. "I am the greatest," he had shouted to the world. And now he can't pay his rent. His wife, Veronica, sits beside him, pregnant with their 3rd child. Worry on her face, fear in her eyes. "Mohammed, we could ask someone for help," she says quietly. There's hope in her voice, but very little. Ali shakes his head. His lips move, but no words come. Finally, "Can't beg anyone, Veronica, especially not—" He doesn't finish the sentence, but they both know who he means. Joe Frazier. Because Ali had said ruthless things to Joe for years, not just said them, but shouted them on television, at press conferences in front of millions. "Gorilla! Ugly! Uncle Tom! Too dumb to be champion." He had beaten Joe not just inside the ring, but outside it too, mercilessly. He had done everything possible to humiliate him, to discredit him, to break him down. And now, the person he needed to ask for help was him. Ironic, isn't it? Life sometimes plays very cruel jokes. Ali gets up, walks slowly to the window. Chicago's lights are shining, but his world is dark. Below, cars pass, people walk, life continues. But his life seems stopped. He has 3 children. Mariam is 9, smart, curious. Jamila is 7, quiet, thoughtful. And the 3rd child coming soon. How will he take care of them? How will he educate them? How will he feed them? He's trying to make a comeback in boxing, but his body isn't what it used to be. 37 years old, but feeling like he's aged 10 years. 3 years without training, stress, anxiety, financial pressure, all of it has left marks on his body. His reflexes have slowed, his speed has decreased, but he has no other choice. The ring is his only hope, his only source of income. Lost in these thoughts, he turns on the news. The anchor talks about Ali's situation. Former heavyweight champion Muhammad Ali continues to face financial difficulties following his 3-year suspension from boxing. Ali changes the channel. He doesn't want to hear it. He feels ashamed, angry, in pain. Meanwhile, Philadelphia, South Broad Street, Joe Frazier's house, a completely different atmosphere. Warm, peaceful, family-filled. Family dinner is over. Florence, Joe's wife, is clearing the dishes. 20 years of marriage, 4 children, a simple but happy life. The children are doing homework. Marvis is 17, wants to be a boxer following his father's footsteps. Jackie is 15, focused on school, dreams of becoming a doctor. Wata and Natasha are younger, innocent, happy. Joe is watching television but not paying attention. He looks thoughtful. The news mentions Ali's situation. Vietnam War protests, legal process, financial difficulties. Joe changes the channel, but not quickly, thoughtfully. He doesn't want to watch, but can't be completely indifferent either, because Joe's feelings toward Ali are complicated. There's anger, of course. Who wouldn't be angry after years of humiliation? The word gorilla still rings in his ears. That word wasn't just a word. It was a symbol of racism, contempt, degradation. It negated Joe's difficult childhood in South Carolina, his struggle against racism, his search for dignified humanity. But there's something else in Joe's heart: respect. Respect for everything Ali sacrificed for his principles. He had stood against the Vietnam War. He had refused to participate in a war he thought was unjust. He was paying the price for it now. Joe understood this. Because he was also a man of principles, he would also stand behind what he believed was right. And maybe, very deep down, the old friendship he felt toward him, because they used to be friends. In 1968, they had trained together. They had respected each other. Ali hadn't started humiliating him yet back then. 2 young champions, 2 rising stars together. Florence calls from the kitchen. "Joe, what are you thinking about?" Joe turns his head. "Nothing, baby. Just watching TV." Florence smiles. Married for 20 years, she knows Joe very well. She knows when he's thoughtful. "Is it about Ali?" Joe is surprised. "How did you know?" "Because whenever those news stories come on, you get the same expression, worried but angry." Joe stays silent. Florence is right. Ali's situation affects him. Why it affects him, he doesn't fully know himself. "That man did very bad things to me, Florence. But what? But he's suffering now, and I don't like seeing people suffer, no matter who they are." During this conversation, the phone rings. Joe answers. "Joe, it's me, Angelo Dundee, Ali's trainer." Joe is surprised. Why would Angelo call? "Angelo, what's up? What's wrong?" Angelo's voice is tense, tired. "Joe, I have a favor to ask. Very important, and it has to stay completely confidential." Joe straightens in his chair. Florence pays attention to him. Even the children quiet down. "What favor, Angelo?" "Can we meet face to face? I'll come to you, very urgent." Joe thinks. Angelo Dundee doesn't call after midnight, doesn't ask for face-to-face meetings. This is serious. "Okay, where?" "Johnny's Diner in South Philly, open 24 hours. Can you be there in 20 minutes? Joe checks his watch. "After midnight." "Okay, I'll come." Florence looks curiously. "What's wrong?" "I don't know, baby. Angelo Dundee wants to meet urgently." Florence frowns. "After midnight? That's not normal." Joe nods. "I think so too, but I need to go and find out." Joe gets in his car, an old Buick, 1974 model. Not new, but reliable. Ali used to have a Rolls-Royce. Now he doesn't know what Ali's situation is. Driving carefully through snowy streets, he thinks. What could Angelo want? Something about Ali, for sure. Why else would he call? Johnny's Diner, small, warm, the only place open late at night. Truck drivers, night shift workers, the refuge of sleepless people. Joe goes inside. Angelo is sitting at a corner table. He looks old, tired. This usually energetic man seems collapsed tonight. Angelo. Joe, thank you for coming. They both sit down. The waitress brings coffee. Angelo starts talking, but with difficulty. Words come out hard from his mouth. Joe, do you know Ali's situation? Roughly. What I heard from the media. The media doesn't know the truth. It's much worse. Angelo starts explaining. Ali's situation is worse than anyone thinks. He might lose his house by the end of the month. The children might have to be taken out of school. Veronica is sick from stress. The doctor recommended rest. Ali is too proud to tell anyone anything, but the situation is critical. How much does he owe? Joe asks. Around $50,000. Rent, bills, legal fees, old debts. Angelo puts his hand to his forehead. Joe, I've been in this business for 25 years. I've seen dozens of boxers, but I've never seen anyone as proud as Ali. He doesn't know how to ask for help. Joe listens, silent. Complex emotions inside him. Anger, pity, understanding, indecision. Why are you telling me all this, Angelo? Angelo looks directly into Joe's eyes. Because you're the person who understands him best. Because what happened between you two, it wasn't just inside the ring. It was heart to heart. And I know that despite everything you've been through, you still see him as a human being. Joe stays silent. Angelo continues. Joe, I know what happened between you. He said very bad things to you. He humiliated you. But that man needs help now. And you're the only person who really understands him. Because you come from the same world. From poverty, from hardship, from struggle. Joe thinks. Ali had called him gorilla, said Uncle Tom, called him the white man's puppet. He had humiliated him on television in front of millions. But now other things come to mind. The respect in Ali's eyes in Manila, the handshake after the fight, the silent respect two warriors have for each other. There's competition, there's anger, but underneath there's also respect. What do you want me to do, Angelo? Angelo takes a deep breath. He explains his plan, so Ali's pride won't be hurt. The help will be anonymous. A fake sponsorship deal. Phantom management company. Everything legal on paper, but really a donation. Ali will never know who helped him. His pride will stay intact, and his family will be saved. How much money is needed? Joe asks. $25,000 will solve the immediate crisis. The house will be safe, bills will be paid, he can take care of the children, Joe quietly calculates. A lot of money, a big part of his own savings, but not impossible. Joe, Angelo continues, I know I'm asking a lot. I know what he did to you. But that man, despite all his mistakes, is a great champion, and champions look after each other. Championship greatness is shown not inside the ring, but outside it. Joe stays silent for a long time. He drinks his coffee, thinks, conflicting emotions inside him. Anger, pride, mercy, sense of justice. Florence's voice comes to mind. You don't like seeing people suffer. True, that's his character. If someone needs help, whoever they are, he helps. I have one condition, Angelo. Tell me. Ali will never find out. Never. And only you will know this. Nobody else. Angelo nods. I promise, Joe. I'll take this secret to my grave. They leave the diner. Snow continues to fall. Joe sits in his car, thinking. He should go home. What will he tell Florence? He can't tell the truth. Florence has negative feelings toward Ali. She won't understand, might even try to prevent it. He goes home. Florence hasn't slept. She's waiting. What was it? Joe hesitates. Boxing business. A new opportunity. He's lying, but for a good cause. Florence looks suspicious, but doesn't insist. She trusts Joe. Joe calls the bank. After midnight, but the private customer service line is open. 24-hour service for wealthy customers. I need to transfer $25,000 right now. It needs to be in the account tomorrow morning. The representative asks questions, but Joe is determined. Phantom Sports Management, Chicago, through Angelo Dundee. While the transfer procedures are being prepared, Joe goes to bed. Florence is sleeping. Joe lies down next to her but can't sleep. He thinks, is he doing the right thing? Does Ali deserve this? But then he hears his own voice inside. This isn't for Ali. It's for his children, for his wife, for innocent people. Next morning, Chicago. Ali wakes up early, tired after a sleepless night. He prepares breakfast for the children. Veronica is pregnant and has been having morning sickness. Ali handles it alone. Miriam and Jamila are getting ready for school. Innocent, happy. They don't know their father is troubled. Mail arrives. Ali goes to the door. A few bills, advertising letters, and a thick envelope stamped Phantom Sports Management, a company Ali has never heard of. He opens it, sponsorship agreement and a check, $25,000. Ali is shocked. What is this? Who? Why? He reads the letter. TV appearance and promotional work agreement. A fake agreement, but the money is real. Exactly what he needs. He's suspicious but has no other choice. This money will save the family. Veronica comes beside him. What's that? Ali shows the envelope. Sponsorship agreement from Phantom Sports Management. Veronica frowns. Never heard of this company. Me neither, but the money is real. They both wonder but don't ask questions. Sometimes you don't look a gift horse in the mouth. Ali goes to deposit the check. The bank clerk asks questions, but the money is legal. The check is valid. The transfer happens. Ali breathes easy. At least they're safe for a few months. Weeks pass. When Ali's situation improves, he tries to investigate. He tries to find Phantom Sports Management. He even hires a private detective. Result: no such company exists. Fake address, fake phone number, fake records. Someone helped him anonymously. But who? The list isn't long. How many people really know Ali and care enough to help him? Don King? Maybe, but very unlikely. Howard Cosell? Impossible. Angelo Dundee? Angelo doesn't have money. Who else? Joe Frazier never crosses his mind, because after what Ali did to Joe, Ali can never imagine that Joe would help him. This is incomprehensible to Ali. If he were in Joe's position, would he help someone who treated him so badly? He doesn't know. Probably not. Months pass. Ali returns to his career. He fights Larry Holmes in 1980. He loses, but at least his financial situation has improved. Phantom Sports Management's money gave him breathing room. He's back on his feet, hopeful again. Joe never talks during this period. Even Florence doesn't know the details. She just asks sometimes, "You helped someone, didn't you?" Joe nods. "I did the right thing," he says. No further explanation. Florence doesn't insist. She knows Joe has a clean heart. He meets with Angelo sometimes. "How's Allie?" "Good, much better." "Thank you, Joe." "You're welcome, but remember, this stays between us." "Of course." Years pass. 1980s, 1990s, 2000s. Ali and Joe occasionally meet. At public events, old boxers' gatherings, Hall of Fame ceremonies. They're polite to each other but distant. That old conflict is still between them. Ali still doesn't know who helped him. 1996 Olympics, Atlanta. Ali lights the torch. He's battling Parkinson's disease but standing. The world applauds him. Joe also watches on television. He feels proud inside. This man, despite all his problems, is still a legend. In 2001, Ali turns 60. A big party is thrown. Joe is also invited. He thinks about going but then gives up. Two complex emotions. He wants Ali's well-being, but doesn't want to get close either. 2009, Ali's Parkinson's is progressing. Joe also has health problems, liver issues. They're both aging, and both are trying to make peace with the past. They meet at a charity event, Muhammad Ali Celebrity Fight Night in Phoenix. Ali is in a wheelchair. He has trouble speaking, but his eyes light up when he sees Joe. Joe approaches. "Muhammad, how are you?" Ali extends his hand. Joe takes it, a warm, sincere moment. "Joe," Ali says with difficulty, "I'm sorry for what I did to you." Joe smiles. "That's in the past, Muhammad. What matters now is friendship." Ali relaxes. After years, he was able to apologize. Joe accepted the apology, too. The ice between them is melting. Ali still asks, "Who gave me that anonymous help, Joe? You know, don't you?" "In 1979, someone helped me. I've been wondering for 32 years. Joe smiles. "Maybe you'll find out after I die, Muhammad." November 7th, 2011. Joe Frazier dies. Liver cancer, 67 years old, in his own home in Philadelphia with his family by his side. As he takes his last breath, is he thinking about Ali? Maybe. He passes away without telling anyone his 25-year secret. The funeral is held in Philadelphia. Boxing Hall of Fame, former boxers, their families. Ali comes too, in his wheelchair, in difficult condition but there, to pay his final respects. Despite his Parkinson's disease progressing, he wants to say goodbye to Joe. At the funeral, Veronica Porche Ali talks with Joe's wife, Florence. Two women, wives of two champions, they had shared the years, shared the pain, shared the joy. "Joe was such a good man," says Veronica. "He always showed respect to Ali, despite everything." Florence smiles, but there are tears in her eyes. "Veronica, Joe didn't just show respect to Muhammad. He helped him in 1979, too." Veronica is surprised. "What do you mean? What help?" Florence looks around. Nobody is listening. She lowers her voice and starts telling. The 25-year secret, phantom sports management, Joe's secret help, the anonymous transfer, everything. Veronica's eyes fill with tears. "Ali never knew. He's been wondering for 32 years who helped him. He even had detectives investigate." Florence puts her hand on Veronica's shoulder. "Let him know now. Joe is dead. I don't want the secret to die with him." After the funeral, Veronica tells Ali. At home, in a quiet setting. Ali can't believe it at first. "Joe? Joe Frazier? But I called him Gorilla. I called him Uncle Tom. I humiliated him. Why would he help?" Veronica puts her hand on her husband's shoulder. "That's why he was a great man, Muhammad. When you fell, he helped you. Secretly so your pride wouldn't be hurt." Ali cries. 32 years later, he learns the truth. The person who helped him in his darkest hour was the person he hurt the most, Joe Frazier. He had beaten him not just in the ring, but in life, too. But this time with compassion, with greatness, with mercy. Ali feels very small. Regret, shame, gratitude mix inside him. Ali changes after that night. Despite his Parkinson's, he visits Joe's grave. He goes to Philadelphia with his family. He stands by the grave, talks. "Joe, you were a bigger champion than me, not in the ring, but in heart. It's too late to ask for your forgiveness, but I'm asking anyway, and thank you for everything." The story leaks to the press. In 2012, a sports writer learns about Joe's secret help. The boxing world is shocked. The greatest rivalry was actually a secret friendship. Joe never bragged, never mentioned it, didn't give it to the media. He just did the right thing, quietly. Former boxers rediscovered Joe, smoking. Joe wasn't just a great fighter, he was a great human being. Despite everything Ali did to him, he lifted him up when he fell, quietly, humbly, without hurting his pride. Howard Cosell's old interviews from 1975 are watched again. The question, is Joe Frazier still angry with Ali? Joe's answer, anger poisons the heart. I don't want to be a man with a poisoned heart. Now everyone understands what Joe meant. 2016, Muhammad Ali dies, 74 years old, after a long battle with Parkinson's disease. At the funeral, Veronica talks about Joe's charity. When Ali learned about Joe's help to him in 1979, he said, "Joe was a bigger champion than me, not in the ring, but in heart." Today, in 2024, Joe Frazier's gym in Philadelphia is still open. There's a poster on the wall. "True champions lift others when they fall, Joe Frazier." Below it, a small note. "In memory of the 15 minutes that defined greatness, 1979. Angelo Dundee, when he died in 2012, said this in his final interview. "I never saw a boxer with a bigger heart than Joe Frazier. He kept the help he gave Ali secret his entire life, because true greatness isn't for show, it's for service." This story shows the fine line between competition and friendship in sports. Ali and Joe tried to kill each other in the ring. They fought mercilessly for 14 rounds, but when life knocked them down, Joe lifted Ali up, without questioning, without bragging, silently. 15 minutes, the time from Joe's conversation with Angelo, to calling the bank, to the money being transferred. A decision made in 15 minutes became a secret kept for 25 years and defined what true greatness means. Joe Frazier, Smokin' Joe, famous for his left hook, working-class kid from Philadelphia. Unlike Ali, he didn't talk much, wasn't flashy, but his greatest punch was thrown outside the ring, the punch that extended a helping hand to Ali without hurting his pride. Invisible left hook to the heart. Because true champions don't just defeat their opponents, they lift them up when they fall too. This is the greatest lesson Joe Frazier taught us. Greatness is measured not by fists, but by heart.